Hey, here's a thought for you. Does work find you or do you have to find work? If you're a large company, do you have to go out and find sales or do sales find you? Do new customers find you? If you're an employee or a job seeker, do promotions find you or do you have to go out and look for them? Does do new opportunities present themselves to you or do you have to go out and job search? If you're in sales, do new prospects and do new customers come back to you? Are you getting repeat orders? Are you really taking care of the customer or do you have to go and chase that? So, really, the fundamental question is, and this would apply to vendors like myself, do you have to find work or does the work find you? Do the opportunities find you? And here's what that's all about. I was thinking back to the video I recorded where I was wearing my Yogi Bear Jellystone shirt. And that's what got me thinking about this topic because when I was 14 years old, let's start there, and my family bought an Atari home computer, we go to this retailer and went back a couple times, and the salesman said, "Oh, I see your son's really into this. I'm opening a store a couple miles from your house. Do you think he'd want to work for me?" So I was 14 years old and had my first job offer, and I was like, "Yeah." And I went in and started closing the store on Tuesday nights, opened the store on weekends. Next thing I know, I was teaching basic classes. Then, end of summer after my sophomore year of high school, we start camping at a Yogi Bear Jellystone Park in Angola, Indiana, the one I mentioned. And uh, next summer, we decide to become seasonal campers. I'm there every weekend, and the owners say, "Hey, your son, you think he'd want to work here?" I worked 2.5 seasons, right? Go to college, end up working in the dining halls. They start a student manager program. Hey, do you think you'd want to be part of the student manager program? That opened up a world of hospitality to me. Then I ended up back in Toledo because somebody said, "Hey, I heard your son's in food and beverage, but I heard he has interests in marketing. Do you think he'd want to come work for me?" And here I am. Ended up back in Toledo. And then the next thing was, "Hey, I hear you have someone interested in marketing. Do you think you'd want to be interested in working for me?" And now 30 years later, here I am, a marketing management consultant. So, it's a funny path we take, but the work always found me. So then, after I go out on my own, 10 years into being a marketing management consultant, now 20 years ago, I had a knack for managing these exceptions, working with large companies. And then suddenly the manufacturer was like, "Hey, do you think you want these exceptions to the rule, these growing SMBs that need the needs of a large company? Can you handle that?" Sure, I can handle that. Then I develop another niche. Then 2013, when I was a we had my former employer had a right hand and a left hand. When the other hand left, it was, "Hey, can you come back and manage this work?" Work always finds me. So, does work find you? My partner in life, also a social media marketer with her own business, AMS Creative, has and a life coach talks about being a super attractor and bringing that to business and to yourself in life. And that's really what it is. Whether you're a company or an employee or a salesman or a vendor, it's about putting yourself out there and attracting the opportunities that you want. For example, that job 30 years ago, the second we started benchmarking the industry and publishing data about it, everybody wanted to work with us. We put ourselves out there. That's how you become a super attractor and you start attracting the opportunities you want. How do you do that? Just doing your job. And then what happens if doing your job is a struggle and it's hard? Well, that's when you're not following your passion. You're not being true to yourself. And your problem is bigger and deeper than just doing your job. Because doing your job as a company, as an employee, as a sales rep, as a vendor is what brings you the opportunity, what brings you the work, what makes you a super attractor, as my partner calls it. Do the work. and then the work will find you. That's how you give your choices a purpose bigger than yourself. See you soon.